Blessings. Welcome to our new class time for healing yoga. Tell your friends, let's join. Hopefully we'll get some new folks in Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So join us for this class weekly. Thanks for being here real time or following on the video. We have an intention today of staying off our wrists a little and just working with some joint circulation, specifically through the whole body, feet, through the mid, through the hands, out through the head. And we'll work on breath work and anything else that comes our way. Please bring in the props you may want to support your body against the earth. Make this class as accessible to you as you can. Chairs, couches, whatever you are sitting upon. When I'm seated on the ground does not mean you have to be as well. Can be seated or standing. So I like to group harmonize before we start our movement practices. Root down through your pelvis. In yoga, this is the true base of us, the base of our spine, and everything else just radiates out from this pelvic floor. So nestle in wherever you are, lengthen through the crown of your head naturally. Let the arm bones just slide to the sides of the rib cage, resting. Hands can connect to heart space or any prayer you find meaningful. Since I'm working with some new beings, I'll explain gently the journey of Om. I like to harmonize with group prayer in this way. The journey of the sound Om starts low down in the pelvis, our base. And then the O tends to vibrate in the heart, journeying up the spine. And then the tends to be in the head. So it's simply that one reflection can be that you're journeying from the base to the head in a ladder. If you'd like to chant in 3 ohms, any prayer is welcome to harmonize. Let's begin on the next exhale. Any tone length welcome. Blessings. Thank you for being here. So let's start in a seated position, comfortable seat, cross-legged, props underneath your sit bones. I'll just show in case somebody has a block or a prop like this. It could be anything, a few pillows. You can sit your sit bones on that, lifting them higher than the knees. It can feel a lot better for the hips. So if you have props, that could be nice. And let's just start here with the pelvis before standing up for some breath and movement. So like we would in our tabletop cat-cow movements that lots of us know, we'll just work with the pelvis here. Inhales, tilts your tailbone. I'm going to show from the side. Back, so there's a curve deeper in the low back. The sit bones come towards the back of you. Exhale, bringing the pelvis forward, the tailbone goes down, flattening the low back. We're just bringing awareness to our root in yoga. Follow your breath rhythm. And once you're comfortable with the pelvic movements, I'm being a little dramatic for the video. Yours can be really slow and subtle. Bring that journey from the pelvis up the whole spine. So you inhale, maybe a deeper curve, your heart lifts forward, maybe up. Arm bones rest. Exhale, whole rounding of the spine. Hands can rest on the knees, maybe a little help guiding your spine here, if that feels good. So here's our cat-cow movements seated. Look for some fluidity between each joint of the spinal column here, from the base all the way up through the shoulder blades and the head and neck. Lastly, here on your next inhale, maybe you let the heart sink forward, shoulder blades come together. Maybe you open the throat by extending your nose tip up, only if this feels good. And then exhale, round, let the whole spine round and the head goes in flexion. One or two more, full expression for you. Last one I'm showing. Follow your breath, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Take your arms out to the sides of you. Big circle sweep up of the arms, stretch up, inhale, connect to the sun, and bring it down through your center line. Two more. Inhale, reach up, visualize, feel, maybe you see the sun. Pull it down to connect to your inner sun. Inhale, reach and extend. Exhale down. Let your right arm go. Let the left arm come up. Maybe it goes back behind the ear. If that is bringing pain, just hand to the hip. Stretch from the left hip all the way to the left ribs. Maybe you rotate your nose up, or you can keep it in line with the heart. Beautiful stretch along these side body muscles we're going to call upon throughout class for breath. Inhale to neutral. Exhale other way. Slide down. Inhale, maybe right arm comes up or it stays on the hip, aware of the pelvic engagements grounding you. Gently pull away from the right rooted hip. Come back to center. So we work on squats a lot. I know it's not available to everyone, but if you'd like, you can come through a squat. This is Malasana without the prop. Maybe you can come up to standing. And we'll start standing now. Always modify. Remember, this time together is our healing space. So find this as a safe space to come to the breath, come to some reflections. These are just offerings, and please know, due to our environments, due to our constitutions, we won't always all need the same thing at the same time. So if anything I'm offering with the breath, with the movement isn't in alignment, modify, maybe just come to some mindful breaths, and know that that movement's in your toolkit for when you may need it outside of our practice, but you don't have to do it in the real time. Just want to make sure that's known. So find your feet hip width distance. Lift your toes, gently plant your toes, root down through the toe mound, the outer ridge of your foot in the heel. Lift through the inner arches of your feet, finding a nice rooted sensation through our feet to the earth. Lift through the kneecaps, the calves engage, the kneecaps rise. Strong front leg, strong back thigh, hamstrings, and gluteals. So that's our lower body engagements. From our feet up through the lines of the legs to the pelvis. Hands spiral out, feel the heart lift. Inhale, reach and extend the arms up, connect to the sunny sky. Pull it down through your midline to connect to your navel. Two more. Inhale, say your intention for class and pull your intention down through you. One more. Inhale, maybe to be here now, maybe to find peace, whatever your intention is. Back to a mountain pose. Find some soft knees while they're still staying engaged. Inhale, tee up the arms, palms up. So we're really rooted through the legs, through the gluteals, lower body engagements. Shoulder blades come together and drop down the back body, lengthening the back of your neck. Inhale through your nose, V the arms. Exhale through your nose. Bring your arms to an H. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. We're just holding some static arm movements so we find good alignment for our movement coming up. Cactus arms, elbows in line with the shoulders. Notice how the shoulder blades press together to gently lift your heart forward, maybe up towards the sky. I have a lot of noise in my window space. Apologies. It's just so nice to get that natural breeze. Push energy and air current down like you're moving through water. Internal rotation, W or now an M. Inhale and exhale. Lower the arms. Inhale, sweep up all the way to your intentions and down through center. So before we get into pranayama, let's do a further grounding practice. I love this one. Take the knees as wide as feels good. We're going to come to a squat, lengthening through the tailbone and the crown without finding that your low back is flat. You don't want to necessarily have a flat back. Keep a natural curve. Find engagements in the pelvic floor. So when we'll squat down, collect the earth, foundation, the soil. Let that come up through midline and connect it to all. Inhale, reach up to the light, the sun, the ultimate, and pull it down through your midline center column, connect it to the earth. 2 more. Gather up the minerals, the structure, the soil, up through midline, radiate it out to all. Reach back up and connect to the light, the sun. Pull it down, connecting it to the earth. If this feels good, 1 more. Pulling up foundation, structure, letting that radiate out to all. Reach up, stretch to the sunny sky, connect it down through you and leave it rooted to the earth. In our healing yoga, we want to be grounded through our lower body or wherever our pelvic base is. It really helps us to then grow off of that. Otherwise, it's a little spirally. So I'll keep talking about grounding down through our legs and pelvis. Let's come to a mountain pose like we've done already. There's alignment cues in the spine in yoga. Let's feel them. So the pelvic floor, the base of the pelvic bowl, between the thigh and the gluteals, engage that area up towards your heart to kind of find yourself rooted. Navel, direct it towards your spine, towards your heart to find the abdominals engaged. Chin down towards your heart to reach out through the crown of your head. Visualize a crown, any color, any size, and we want to balance it on the top of our head. Pelvic floor, navel, and throat. So let's take our arms to cactus. My pup's on the move here, so sorry if we get some doggy action. Elbows in alignment with the shoulders here. Notice that heart lift again. We can press our strong legs and our hip crests forward. The abdominals lift and lengthen. Shoulder blades push together gently up. Here's a really gentle heart lift. And then come back to neutral, keep the arms up. So some of our bellows breath, our forceful breaths, inhales and exhales. Do you need to go outside? Okay. So some of our bellows, forceful breaths, we stay rooted through the lower body. Inhale one way, exhale the other out through the nose. Let me show it for new folks. And then let yourself reset. So that's our first round of it. And you may notice, like I brought up earlier, tissues may be needed. We'll try that the other way. Remember, if this is too forceful for your body this morning, just notice the breath, inhale and exhale. You don't have to make it powerful. So cactus arms, root down through the lower body engagements, and let's try switching directions. I'm going to inhale right, exhale left. Clearing respiratory system. Come back to center. Mountain. Arm bones release. Pelvic floor, navel, and throat in alignment. Let's do another variation of our Bhastrikas. This involves us sitting down in our imaginary chair, strong legs, sit bones lower back down, elevator lowering. Use that pelvic floor engagement up towards the heart like we were just practicing. Hands can maybe come up to H like we did. Inhale, exhale, the elbows come towards the hips with our bellows breath maybe. Come back to mountain pose when you're ready. Just taking a few breath rhythms, even out the inhalation to the expiration. Let's do one more round of our chair fire breath. Remember, you can always modify. You can do these seated as well. If you'd like to sink the sit bones back, strong legs, lengthen in opposite directions. So that was about 15. I recommend doing anywhere from about 10 to 30, depending on your practice, when you practice alone perhaps. Reset, feet under hips, strong legs, palms out. Inhale, reach up. Lift your heart to meet the sunny sky. Walk the feet as wide as feels good. Bend the knees and fold down through center. Let the upper body go. So we bend the knees as much as we can so that our low belly and abdomen can rest on the thighs. Let go of the waist up to the crown. Feel as though your pelvic bowl, like we've talked about, is a golden chalice, and there's beautiful holy water, which is the upper body right now, pouring out of our golden chalice here. Always welcome in our healing yoga, audible exhales, open mouth, release heaviness and fire. And then come back to the inhales through the nose and the exhales through the nose. Hands to your hips, aware of the pelvic engagements. Strong legs, and lengthen out through the top of your head to rise all the way up. Let the arms circle all the way up. Strong legs, shoulder blades lift up to lift your heart. Meet the sun. Direct the sun down through center to prayer. Beautiful. Let's sit in our chair again for our leg engagements. Sink those sit bones back. Maybe the hands come to your pelvis, aware of your pelvic engagements. Inhale. Think pelvic floor, navel, and throat in alignment. For a twist, right hand will go to the outer left knee. Left hand can stay on the hip, or you can even lengthen. From the pelvic floor to the heart, twisting right. See if you can just keep your head in alignment with your heart. When I talk and guide a lot, I'm often looking around, but see if throughout class, your head, gaze, and neck can come from your heart. And back through center. Maybe you stay low or come back and meet us. Other side when you're ready. Left hand to outer right knee. Right hand stays on pelvis, pelvic floor to heart, twisting right. Back through center. Woo, the legs are feeling it. Mountain pose. Inhale, stretch up, take up some space here. Lift your heart to the sun. Connect that sun through an imaginary line down through your hands to your own sun within. Mountain pose. Feet go out maybe 3 to 4 foot distance. Inhale into star pose. So it's just our arms and legs and head are the points. Lift through your front body. Feel the engagements in your back body. Exhale, sink the sit bones down, wide squat. Toes out in alignment with the knees. Just like we did in our squat before, we're still lengthening through the spinal column. Strong leg engagements. And if our twisting feels good here, let's try that out. Inhale from pelvic floor to heart one way, exhale the other. You can be really subtle, like watch, I can just do it like this. Or if you're feeling a little more movement this morning or wherever time you're watching this, go ahead and find movement, but don't give away your alignments, your center power. Come back to center. I love this one. Arms in cactus mirroring the legs. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift your chest subtly. Exhale, push water down with the arms, internal rotation. Woo, one more. Inhale, lift up. Lift your heart, shoulder blades meet. Exhale, press water, air current down. Straighten the limbs, star pose, connect to the cosmos and the sun. Exhale, fold down through center line, wide-legged fold. You can bring, if you happen to have some props nearby. I tend to not bring in the props unless I know in the check-in that people have them, because it's just, why do them if you don't have them? But in case you do, or in case you're watching along, just want you to know you can support here with blocks. Or the wall is a great, all of us have walls. Free up a wall, and a wall is a great space to use to guide your body. Anyway, forward fold. I get so excited and have so much to share. So thanks for your patience and working with me and bringing your energy to class today. It truly takes all of us together to do this. So thank you, thank you. gratitude to yourself and your body, please. Audible exhales. Let's do one more practice to help release anything heavy, anything no longer serving us. Strong knees, we're coming up, hands to hips, lengthen through the head, all the way up. Reach all the way up. So down through center, it's our new moon today. Happy new moon. Great time for new creations, new projects, newness. We're really laying that fresh soil internally and externally to collect the full moon glow in 2 weeks. So new moon, we're releasing and cleansing anything heavy. Inhale, if this feels good, we reach up, kind of lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, let your body go. Reach up. Exhale. If that doesn't feel good, just hang out in a fold. You can let the arms interlace or find a nice movement practice. Maybe you do 1 or 2 more of these. Hands to hips, lengthen out through the crown of your head, come all the way up. Release. So come to the top of whatever space you're using. Let's just guide our right leg back. Warrior 1. Take the stance narrow because we want to, like we talked about, ground down. And if we can find our earthy roots from the floor and bring it up to connect, we can go up higher and do some more stuff. But as we know, some days I'm wobbly, some days the air element is taking us over. We just want to focus on rooting first. Feel your left knee pulling towards the left pinky to engage the outer left thigh. Root down through the outer ridge of your back right foot. Hands to pelvis, notice your pelvic engagements. Pelvic floor flying towards the heart. Thing to feel and notice here, we call elevator drawstring zipper. Meaning elevator is that pelvic floor rising up towards your heart. The drawstring is this little waist kind of like you feel on scrubs or pants that you drawstring together or tie together. And then the zipper is zipping those elements together. So elevator, drawstring, zipper. Hands from the pelvis to the heart. Notice the heart. Compassion, forgiveness, maybe full expression, H arms, bringing them up high to the sky. Shoulder blades stay lower down to the gluteals to lengthen through your neck. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Hands down through center. Here's a nice balance challenge. Strong legs. You're going to shift forward on the front leg. Lift the right knee up and down. Other side. Left leg. Take a nice mindful step back. I love that noise. It's just suction cup rooting down through the feet. I won't say all those words again. Elevator, drawstring, zipper as you're aware of the pelvis. Once you make connection, hands to heart, notice compassion, unconditional love, radiated out, maybe full expression with the arms up high to the sky. Inhale here through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Strong legs. Back leg's going to step up and forward. Meet the front. Woo! Let's do our warrior 2. Reset. Inhale, reach up. Feel the flow. Exhale down. Let's start with our right leg. And I like to show from the side. This one may be a little wider. Now, that being said, I'm cautious to even say words like that because your form is your unique self. Anything is welcome. Yours will not look like mine, as mine will not look like yours. So please be really gentle and don't compare. Feel this in your body. So with Warrior Two, our hips are open out to the side, whereas what we were just doing was more of a lunge pose. So maybe your back foot at a 90-degree angle to the front foot, still root down through the front foot and leg by pulling the knee towards the pinky. Hands to hips, elevator drawstring zipper. Hands to heart. Radiate your heart's message out through your hands. Focus over the front left fingertips. Concentration. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Feel your inner warrior, your inner power. Let's reverse this. Right arms coming to the low back. Left arms coming to the ribs for a second. Notice your left side body. We're going to open and lengthen the muscles and the tissues along this side. Maybe this arm extends back behind the ear. Inhale to find your stretch, reversing your Warrior Two. Head in alignment with the heart unless it feels good to look up. Inhale back to a Warrior Two. And here's some rotation. We're going to hop on the back foot, face forward, strong legs. Whoop, I almost fell. That's okay. Collect and gather. Lift your back leg to come up. Whew. Other side. Left leg, Warrior Two. Root down, suction cup. Hands to hips, elevator drawstring zipper. Hands to heart. Radiate your heart's message. Sometimes I do palms up to help my shoulder blades depress down my back body, and then do palms down. Focus over front fingertips. Feel your inner power. Reverse, left arm to low back. Right arm maybe comes to the ribs for that awareness of your side body, and then maybe back behind the ear. Lengthen. Follow your form. Follow your breath. Strong legs guide you back to a Warrior Two. Rotate, take little hops. We're going to have those feet meet. Back to our start. So before we come on down to our mat or down to our space, wherever you're using, you don't need a yoga mat. In fact, I really try not to say those things because it's not important. So let's just find a little bit of flow movement for the joints, fluidity of the lymph, the blood, the circulation within us that fuels our body and all of our tissues. So take the feet hip width or wider. Inhale, reach up, stretch up to connect. Exhale, big swan dive. Let the arms go and fold down. Inhale, half lift. We're having the hands meet on the legs. If you happen to have props, just for those watching or who may have, you can use props. Half lift to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Take up space. We're going to do this a few times. Lift your heart down through center. Only if it feels good. Inhale, keep your fluid flow. This is your dance. Open and lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhalation, half lift, hugging front body to back body. Exhale to let go. Inhale, strong legs, reverse swan dive all the way up. Lift your heart to the sun. Exhale, prayer to connect to your inner sun. Inhale, find your flow. Lift up, feel the circulation and connectivity through all of your joints, all of your body. Inhalation, half lifting, lengthening, spine. Exhale, folding. Inhale, hands swan diver to hips all the way up. Stretch up, lift your heart, and exhale down through center. Take a breath in mountain. Ujjayi breaths. Inhale through the nose, slow and steady to fill and expand the lungs. So I'm going to squat, but please stay where you are. It's just for recording purposes. I sometimes come closer. Ujjayi breath, standing. Expanding the lungs and the ribs. So I invite you, one last thing while we're standing, is find the breath, Ujjayi, by finding where a smile first originates. Feel where your smile starts. All the way maybe in the back palate where it meets the neck. That's where we gently contract to slow down the breath from our nasals, expanding the ribs. And then just as slow as it entered is as slow as we let it go out. It may sound like I'm being a little dramatic so you can hear, but it should maybe tickle, stimulate the back throat. This is a breath we can do all day, every day. It is great for our respiratory. All right, we're going to come on down to the mat. So if you were standing, we're going to lower down. I like to show through squats, but however you're mindfully making your way down to the earth. Let's come on down first onto our belly. Sphinx pose. We haven't done this one in a while, and then we'll come onto our back. So if this is available, we'll just be here for a few breath cycles. Hands in columns out in front of you. Actually, I'm going to show from the side here. Hands in columns, like you're that beautiful Sphinx statue. Press down through the tops of your feet, the legs as one mermaid tail, and fire up those gluteals. That's your base, your lower body engagement. Arms gently pull towards your hips, and you'll notice the skin opening and stretching on the chest. Inhale, flexion, let the head go towards your heart. Breathe into the back of the neck. Inhale, line with the nose tip to your expression. Come through neutral. Maybe then you extend, opening the front. Breathe into the front throat. Exhale back to neutral. Rotation, look towards the left. Breathe into the right side. Ujjayi. Line through nose tip neutral all the way around to the right. Breathe into the left. Strong legs to root you. One more movement practice with our neck. Lateral flexion, left ear towards the shoulder. See if you can keep your nose tip centered. Check in with your hands and wrists and elbows in alignment with the shoulders. Inhale through neutral. to the right ear to right shoulder. You'll see my nose, it could feel good, follow your path, but I try to keep bringing my nose center and lower down more, but it really wants to go rotate. And back through center. Ooh, beautiful. If it feels good, you can straighten the arms. Try to keep the arm bones from doing this. Keep them tucked down into the shoulder blades, down the back body. Maybe you lift the abdomen. Inhale and exhale. Lower down. We're going to have our hands stack, maybe our forearms stack, forehead down, elbows wide. You can do crisscross applesauce with the legs, or you can just give the pelvis a little sway. Just reset and kind of jiggle out the lower body. Curl your toes, brief sitting on the toes here to come down onto our backs face up. So engage the legs, curl those toes again if you haven't, lift on up. And if you'd like, just for a breath cycle or two, I have these yoga toes on, just ignore those, it's my own practice. You'll sit the sit bones down. You don't have to ignore those, but I'm sorry, not trying to tell anyone what to do. I get so excited and I'm just like, okay. So we're taking a breath cycle on our toes, perhaps, just to open the fascia of the foot. And then we're coming down onto our sit bones. Knees wide, legs wide, hands back behind you to support the spine. Wide windshield wipers. Let out some audible exhales. We're coming to our last 10 minutes together for today. So I tend to slow down. I talk less, just to let us have that Shavasana meditation time coming up. And I tend to not say the right words then. I like to giggle, sorry. All right. Strong legs, have the knees come in alignment with the hips, press down through the feet, arms alongside of you, lengthen through the spine in opposite directions. Hug your front body to your back body and lower down. My favorite pose ever is bringing the knees in, the feet wide. You can feel the low back plant to the earth, grounding the spinal column. And you have this little triangle in the legs, if you will. Hands on abdomen and heart, maybe, elbows wide. Take deep breaths into your chest, visualizing nostrils on the chest so that you could take these deep breaths into the lungs. Knees wide, feet wide, arms wide, wide windshield wipers here in our supine position. Time it with the rhythm of your breath. Bring that intention of following the fluidity of the joints, of the movement in your body with each movement, each degree of gentle movement. And if you're having trouble ever checking in, just slow it down. Do subtler, softer movements. Let's find a bridge pose with movement. Supta Baddha Konasana. So we maybe take robot arms or arms along the earth or along your pelvis for a little more engagement. But I typically do robot arms. Inhale to lift the pelvis with your leg engagements, pelvic and the bandhas, those energy locks we talked about. Exhale to lower the pelvis. Notice that the shoulder blades are just planted flat on the mat, supporting themselves. Natural curve in the neck, and the head's just supporting itself. There's no weight really on the upper body. The movement and engagement is coming from feet, legs, pelvic bowl, abdomen. Inhale and exhale to lower. Feel the fluidity of the movement with your breath. Only lifting as high as feels good for you in your form. We really want to cultivate a grounded, strong, empowering practice before we try to take off anywhere else. Each moment, that's what I'm looking to do for myself, so that's what I share. Go ahead when you're ready. Hug the knees in. Maybe you interlace the arms or hands. Do a little rocking. Thank you, body. I am grateful. I love you. Any positive affirmations for your truly magical, divine form. Go ahead and leave the left leg in. Extend the right leg to the earth. Big exhale. If it feels good, take that left leg up and over to twist. I got to move my props out of the way. To twist on to the right side of you. Or you can just let the knees simply stack. Left arm opposite way maybe opens up. Here's horse breath if you've never done it with me. Letting the mouth open or letting the breath fly open through the mouth, sounding like a horse. Stimulates response from the vagus nerve system, allowing us to rest and digest in our nervous system. If and when you feel done with your supine twist, gather the leg energy, bring them through neutral center, hug the right knee in, extend the left leg, big exhale. Right knee over to the left. Maybe right arm extends. Audible exhale. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. Know that this support is always here for you. And I truly feel and believe wants the best for each of us. Know that this comfort is here for you at all times. Engage the legs back to center. Whew. So here's our resting end pose. You can come to a Shavasana, which some of you may know, spreading out the arms and the legs. You can use props under the knees, blankets, pillows. You can keep the legs bent, like my favorite position if you have any low back sensation. Knees in and feet wide. Ground the spine, but lets you calm the low back if there's any sensation there. Or you can sit up I'm going to sit up for guiding. But for the next few minutes, we'll just come to a breath and some silence, allowing your inner vital force to be heard by your consciousness. This is an individual reflection practice. So when you feel ready in your position of rest, whatever that is, inhales naturally, exhales hummingbee breath. Mm. 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 You can continue the breaths for another minute or so, or remain silent. Loving kindness, loving kindness, loving kindness merits to all. If you have more time for Shavasana reflection practice, please remain where you are. We're going to begin to close out class as a group. You can do this wherever you are. If you'd like to come up to seated, if you haven't already, you're welcome to come up to a gentle, kind seating position. And we'll close with group prayer like we started, but instead of oming, I'll just be silent for 3 Ujjayi breath cycles. You can do any prayer or any chanting you may want. Gratitude and thankful for anything you feel thankful for. Namaste, blessings, and thank you so much for joining us real time or on video. Keep following us Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Take care.